This video looks at radians and what a radian is. Now, angles can be measured in degrees or it can be measured in radians. Now, we all should know our degree symbol. Radians is a little c. Now, the unit circle has a radius of 1 unit, and you can see that I've drawn a unit circle here. Now, the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Okay, so the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. So a unit circle with radius 1, so circumference equals 2 pi r. If r equals 1, then that would be 2 pi. So the circumference of a unit circle is 2 pi units. Okay, so if we went all the way around our circle, circumference is 2 pi. Now, if we went on our unit circle here from A to B, that's 1/4 of the circle. So the circumference there has to be 2 pi divided by 4. 2's cancel, so you're left with pi over 2 units. So the circumference is pi over 2 units. If we went from A all the way around to C, then that's half a circle. So 2 pi divided by 2, 2's cancel, we're left with pi units. If we went all the way around, from A all the way around, oops, no, let's not go all the way around, sorry. Going from A all the way around to D, so 3/4 of a circle. So our circumference would be 2 pi times 3/4. And the 2 can cancel. That leaves 3 pi over 2. So what this is telling me is that 90 degrees is pi on 2. 180 degrees is pi. 270 degrees is 3 pi on 2. And we already worked out that our circumference is 2 pi. So 360 degrees equals 2 pi. And that's what a radian is. Radians are in pi's. So 1 radian written as 1c, or usually that c will be a superscript, so it'll be 1 to the c, is the angle subtended at the center of the circle, center of the unit circle by an arc length of 1 unit. And you can see that there. Okay, angles formed by moving anti-clockwise around the unit circle are defined as positive. So if we're going this direction, we're talking about positive angles. And if we go clockwise around the unit circle, then we're dealing with the negative angles. But the key to remember is 2 pi radians, 1 revolution, 360 degrees. So 2 pi is 360 degrees, or even easier, remember that pi is 180 degrees. And you can see that I've highlighted that here. That's our conversion. So when we remember that there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter, we use that to convert between millimeters and centimeters. To convert between radians in degrees, we use that pi is 180 degrees. Now, when converting units, we always multiply by what you want over what you've got. That's what we're going to use to convert. Now, just a warning, now we're starting to deal with radians and degrees. Always make sure your calculator's in the right mode. So if you're going to calculate with radians, make sure your calculator's in radians. If you're calculating with degrees, make sure your calculator's in degrees. Now we're going to do some conversions. So we have to remember that 180 degrees is pi, and we're going to multiply by what we want over what we don't want. So from 30 degrees into radians, I want radians, which is pi, over what I don't want, which is the 180 degrees. Remembering that's 30 over 1. You can go to your calculator if you want, but remember you do have a tech-free exam at times, so you might not be able to use your calculator. So the zeros cancel, first of all. 3 into 3 is 1. 3 into 18 is 6. So that gives me pi over 6. 210 degrees, so 210 times by pi over 180. 210 over 1, zeros cancel. 3 into 21 is 7. 3 into 18 is 6. So this equals 7 pi over 6. Try and do the next one on your own. Pause the video, give it a go. So you get 720 times pi over 180. The zeros cancel. Now you want to know what goes into both 72 and 18, and hopefully you know your times tables. If not, do it in 2 steps. Okay, so if you did it in 2 steps, you might go, oh, I know 9 goes into 72. So 72 divided by 9 is 8. So you could say that's 8. And 18 divided by 9 is 2. But then you should realize, oh, I can divide by 2 again. 2 into 8 is 4. 2 into 2 is 1. So this is equal to 4 pi. Alternatively, you could have realized that 720 is 2 lots of 360 degrees. So that's going to be 2 lots of 2 pi, which is your 4 pi. Now to go from radians to degrees, it's a lot easier. You can just change the pi to 180 degrees. So pi on 4 is 180 divided by 4. 180 divided by 4 is 45 degrees. So 5 pi on 9 is going to be 5 times 180 divided by 9. And that is 100 degrees. 5 pi is going to be 5 times 180, which is 900 degrees. Now, if you have something that's not in terms of pi, so if you have 2.3 radians and you need to convert it to degrees, that's going to equal 2.3 radians times by what we want is our degrees over what we don't want, which is our radians. And you will use the pi button on your calculator. So 2.3 times by 180 divided by pi, and we get approximately 131.78 degrees. Okay, now common angles to remember are down the bottom. Highlighting the pi is 180 degrees, that's a key one. But pi on 6 is 30 degrees, pi on 4 is 45 degrees, pi on 3 is 60 degrees, pi on 2 is 90, 3 pi on 2 is 270 degrees, and 2 pi is 360. You should just know those ones. And this slide here just goes through changing your calculator from radians to degrees. So if you've got degrees, how to change it to radians and vice versa. Knowing that also that on the TI Inspire, you can just press the radian in the top right hand corner and it'll change to degrees and vice versa. So just remember that too. So practice converting on your calculator.